New York. Hello everybody, it's Tom here from The Company Code, author, educator and public speaker. Today I'm going to talk about my visit to New York. New York is a really wonderful, unique place. It is a massive city with millions and millions of people that live and visit daily. There is nowhere else like it. And like Frank Sinatra says in the song, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Be under no illusions, New York is very much got a brash character, but one you will appreciate and one you will like. I fell in love with New York with my first trip there back in March of 2008. Yes, 2008, 13 years ago. As I mentioned on a previous video, I did a free centre holiday that year to go and see my cousin Lisa get married over in Las Vegas, okay? The back part of that holiday was New York City, okay? New York is a really unique and amazing place. When you land in New York City, you get off the plane, JFK Airport or whatever airport you land in, straight away you are blown away by the magnitude of the place. It really is just, gobsmacking. Get off, you go into the taxi, and we was driving down the street. Sure enough, the guy's like, "Welcome to New York." Puts on the radio, Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. And you can't help but sing along. It's an age-old adage. It's an old song, but it's true. Everything that's in the lyrics is true. As a place, it is very, very fast-paced, cosmopolitan. It's a typical city, like most cities that you visit. But like every city, it has its different parts. It has its good parts, it has its bad parts. What I will say is, if you're going to New York and you're visiting, prepare to be, one, blown away by the buildings, and two, extremely exhausted. Unless you're doing lots of open top bus journeys around the city, if you're walking anywhere, you're walking up and down, you will literally be probably walking around there all day. Every night we got in, after having a look around New York City, you literally end up face planting the bed. Honestly, it is so tiring because there's just so much to see and do. Be under no illusions, I had 3 days in New York. I still didn't get to see Central Park or any of the museum and art galleries that I would have loved to have seen, because I love that sort of thing. I'm from an art background, believe it or not. I've got a lot of paintings in my house, alright, none on the wall or anything like that, but not on this wall, should I say. I've got them in other rooms. But you really can't fully appreciate the place without going and seeing it, like anywhere else really. So my experience of New York was typically a normal city. There's the hustle and bustle of a city. There is many, many different cultures ingrained into New York. There is the typical New York accent, the Brooklyn accent, which is quite harsh, bro, but I love it, if I'm honest. People are tough, but in an uncompromisingly go-get-em sort of way, which I like as well. It's not as an unfriendly thing, it's not meant to be that at all. It's just the way they are, Weather-wise, remember you're in the northeastern seaboard of America, so you will get a mixture of weather. You get the winter will be very cold if you go there. I was there early spring. Let me tell you, standing down by the docks there to go across on the boat to the Statue of Liberty, the wind came across and it was cold. I'm not going to lie to you. The sun was out. It was a pleasant spring day. It was quite low sun, but the wind was absolutely bitter. So be under no illusions, as a place, you'll get a mixture of weather, okay? In terms of places to eat, I would thoroughly recommend that if you're going anywhere restaurant-wise, unless you're going for like a takeout type scenario, which there's many restaurants like that, try and book a table, because it's very busy. You will probably find it a bit difficult otherwise to find anywhere to sit down and eat. There's just a top tip that we found out the hard way. You want to find somewhere to eat, you need to be prepared that you may need to book a reservation of some description, okay? You walk down the street in New York, and I was warned about this by an American that, so now sadly he's no longer with us, but he was a good man and he was honest, and he just said to me, he says, whatever you do, don't look up, because you'll end up with a bad neck. But I'm telling you now, you can't help it. You walk down the street in New York and your head just goes. And before you know it, ow. That's literally how it is, be under no illusions, really. It is. Just, you're blown away by the size of the buildings, you know. I got to visit the Rockefeller Center, you know, which has been in many, many famous films. Home Alone is one of them. You go up in the lift there, you go up so many flights of stairs, you go to the top of the rock. Wow, you can see for miles. And I'm not joking you, if you go right to the top of the rock, there's helicopters flying past you. It's a bit surreal. While I'm not scared of heights, I wouldn't go to the top of the rock. It is pretty nerve-wracking, even if you're not scared of heights. As I said, my brother did, I didn't. I went as high as you could without going to the top. Just being honest here, probably all laugh, but didn't fancy quite going to the top. Anyway, you get to see pretty much everything from there. So if you're looking for a view of the city out, take a photo. Don't look down. Whatever you do, you will feel vertigo like you've never felt before. There's no illusions. And then, like, walk down the street, you go into the Times Square area. There's lots of shops. Hell, I even saw Spider-Man on a street corner. Granted, it was an actor for children's shop, a toy shop. But I said to my parents, we must be in New York, Spider-Man's here. And it does have that feel of being like on a film set. And I will elaborate on this shortly. As you're walking around, you see many, many things you've seen in films, you know. Now, I went down to get onto the Statue of Liberty. You down there on the docks waiting. And I got across the bay there. We got out, had a look. The monument itself is nowhere near as big as it appears in films. Sure, it's pretty big. But when you stand under it, you're actually like, oh, is that it? I'm not trying to like play it down, because it is amazing and a symbol of freedom, liberty, and a fantastic piece of architecture. Let's be under no illusions. But your perception of it and what you see in films perhaps isn't what you see when you stand underneath it. And that island itself has like a nature reserve on it, and a park warden that obviously looks after the grounds. Then you'll go from there, if you're doing a little boat tour, probably over to Ellis Island. Ellis Island's where all the immigrants who were coming into the area came back in the day. And some of them that were denied entry to the US would stay on Ellis Island until they could get over, basically. But when I was standing on the Liberty Island, looking across the bay there at New York, I saw a scene that's in the 1984 film Ghostbusters. If you remember Dana Barrett, the Sigourney Weaver's character, she was living in an apartment in sort of like central New York area. I saw that building with my own eyes. I saw the shot, the frame that was took perfectly across the water. It was definitely the building that was used in Ghostbusters. I haven't gone out and researched it, but I know from living memory and having watched the film so many times, I know the damn script, that was the building out of Ghostbusters. And that's what I said, it does have that feel to it, that, you know, that everything is like a movie. And because obviously a lot of movies have been filmed there. Lastly, when we were visiting, obviously it had been about 7 years since 9/11. Ground Zero now has like a monument to the dead. When we went there, they were building like all that, and We went over to the first fire service that was on the scene, and there's a plaque on the wall with their faces on it. I think they died actually trying to help. And believe me, you will never appreciate just the devastation of that day till you're in the area where that happened. It's right smack bang in central New York, in the financial district. All the buildings are really close together. We was there the one day, I think it was a Friday evening, they finished early. It went from a couple of hundred people on the street to about 50,000 in less than 2 minutes. My sister at the time was walking on ahead. We lost her. We found her eventually, thankfully. But literally with like that, there was so many people in like such a short space of time. It was mind blowing. It is a busy place. There is hustle and bustle. I'm not going to lie, like any city, you've got beggars, you've got characters, shall I say. Be wary, they're there, they're part of the makeup. But what you have got is a real gutsy bunch that are just great. And I would love to go back and see Central Park and definitely some of the art galleries and museums that they've got to offer there, as I like all that sort of thing. It appeals to me. Probably wouldn't appeal to everybody, but it does to me. Okay, I like my culture, I like my history, I just do. That's just me. It's not for everyone, but it'd be interesting to see what they've got over there, obviously, being such a big place and so renowned. So yeah, and if you are going to New York, my advice to you would be, I wouldn't make it a week, I would make it maximum 3-4 days, because believe me, as much as I like my exercise, walking around that place every day for 3 days is absolutely exhausting. And trust me as well, you don't want to drive around there. Really, you don't. You think you got traffic in this country or whatever country you're in, you don't want to drive around there. My daddy's is no way perturbed by anything like that. Even he said there's no way I could drive around here, and I couldn't, to be honest. If you do jump in a taxi, it's an experience. It's an experience, okay? Just warning you. But no, definitely don't be put off. New York is a fantastic holiday. It's a really nice city break, to be honest. Just make it a city break. Take it for what it is. Get the best out of it. Enjoy it, okay? Put it on your bucket list and definitely go at least once. You won't regret it, okay? I've been a long time ago. I'm due another visit, which I would love. And I'm sure you would love it as well. That's my second video of the week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for watching as always. Your time and your energy is much appreciated on my channel as always. Thank you very much. Second video of the week, second out of 3. Put down in the comment section below, is New York on your bucket list? Is it a place that you want to be seen in? Is it a place that you've always wanted to go? Have you been to New York? What was your experience? Let's get a chat going down below, okay? Remember to hit that subscribe button down below and leave me a thumbs up and a like. And let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know when my next content's out. But until then, I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening as always. Really appreciate your time. Thank you kindly. I will be back end of the week, my third and final video. But until then, look after yourselves, take care, and bye for now.